Welcome to the Stock Guy Analysis. All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're looking at a company that's making some serious waves in the crypto world. BitMine, ticker BMNR. They're building an absolutely colossal treasury of Ethereum. And we're going to break down the strategy that has the market completely hooked. So what is BitMine exactly? Well, the easiest way to think about it is like the micro-strategy of Ethereum, but on steroids. Just like MicroStrategy went all in on Bitcoin for their corporate treasury, BitMine has snatched that playbook and is running it for Ethereum with just incredible aggression. I mean, this isn't just an investment for them anymore. It's become their entire identity. And right from the get-go, you got to understand the stakes here. The very thing that gives BitMine this potential for absolutely explosive exponential gains. It's the exact same thing that exposes it to the risk of a total catastrophic collapse. Its fate is basically a perfect mirror image of its biggest strength and its biggest weakness. So, how did they get here? Well, it all kicked off with this major strategic pivot. They completely transformed themselves from a Bitcoin mining operation into what is now a pure, unadulterated Ethereum accumulation machine. Now, this isn't just about buying and holding. Nope. Their playbook is to hoard Ethereum like there's no tomorrow, and then immediately put it to work through staking. Staking is basically earning interest on your crypto for helping secure the network. And the big vision here, to create this self-reinforcing flywheel where the yield they earn is used to buy even more ETH, which then generates even more yield. It's a really powerful concept built for exponential growth. And that brings us to the real heart of the story, just the sheer, mind-boggling scale of this bet. In this next part, we're going to look at the numbers behind their treasury to really get a feel for how monumental this wager on Ethereum's future truly is. Let's just start with this number, 3.4 million. Just let that sink in for a second. What in the world does that represent? That's the number of individual Ethereum tokens this company has stockpiled. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar position that makes BitMine one of the single largest publicly known holders of ETH on the entire planet. And just to put that into perspective for you, 3.4 million ETH, that represents 2.8% of the entire circulating supply of Ethereum. Think about that. A single publicly traded company controls nearly 3% of one of the world's most important digital assets. It's wild, and they're not even close to being done. The company has gone on record and stated its absolutely audacious goal is to just keep on buying until they hold a full 5% of all Ethereum in existence. The ambition here is just completely off the charts. So what's the grand total? When you combine the value of their crypto with all their cash reserves, you get this a massive $14.2 billion war chest. This is the financial firepower that makes them the go-to vehicle for anyone who wants leveraged exposure to Ethereum. Okay, so why is everyone suddenly talking about BMNR right now? Well, a few key things have all happened recently to create what you could call a perfect storm of hype. Let's break it down. There are really three big catalysts driving all this buzz. First, they officially blasted past that 3.4 million ETH mark with a huge $300 million purchase during a recent market dip. Second, these rumors started flying that Arch Invest was selling, but that turned out to be totally false. In fact, they doubled down and bought more. And finally, the company itself is now teasing future revenues from staking of somewhere between $50 and $90 million by 2026. This quote from their chairman, Tom Lee, just captures the whole vibe perfectly. Onward to 5%. The alchemy of accumulation. I mean, that word choice, alchemy. It's like they see themselves as turning market fear into pure gold for their balance sheet. This isn't just a business plan. For them, it's a mission. And that corporate conviction, it's totally mirrored in the retail market. This comment added more terrifying by, but Hart says yes is just a perfect snapshot of the high-risk, high-conviction feeling that's driving so much of this. People get the danger, but the potential reward is just too tempting to pass up. So the result of all this is a market sentiment that can only be described as well nuclear bullish. On top of that, you've got technical analysts pointing to the stock's chart, calling it a coiled spring, a pattern that suggests a massive amount of energy is building up, maybe right before a huge breakout. All this crazy optimism brings us to the part of the story that's been grabbing all the headlines. The prediction that BMNR stock could actually hit $200 a share. So, let's unpack the math and see how you even get to a number that extreme. So, here's the most crucial point. The entire $200 price target depends on one single massive catalyst. It's a huge if. But for this whole scenario to play out, the price of Ethereum itself has to first reach $10,000. Okay, so if that happens, the math is actually pretty straightforward. Step 1, ETH hits 10 grand. Step 2, BitMine's Treasury suddenly becomes worth a staggering $34 billion. Step 3, you divide that by the number of shares, which gives you a base asset value of about $97 per share. But here's the key part. Step 4, because these companies offer easy regulated exposure to crypto, they often trade at a premium to their actual assets. If you apply a pretty common 2x premium, that gets you right to that final target of around $200 a share. Now, we've seen the hype and we've done the math. But for a complete picture, you have to take an honest look at both sides of this thing. This is a story with incredible upside, for sure, but also with very, very real risks. Let's lay them out side by side, and this really sums it all up perfectly. The bull case, it's crystal clear. BMNR is a pure leveraged bet on Ethereum. If ETH goes to the moon, that flywheel effect could create unbelievable returns. But the bear case is the perfect scary mirror image. The company's fate is completely chained to ETH. If Ethereum stalls out or faces some major regulatory issue or just collapses, that flywheel works in reverse, and the stock could fall just as fast as it ever rose. So, how is the market weighing these two outcomes? Well, according to a recent community poll, the conviction out there is incredibly high. Despite all the obvious risks, a full 80% of followers are still bullish on the company's future. It's a powerful statement about the belief that the potential reward here just completely outweighs the potential for catastrophic loss. And that brings us to the one final core question of this entire story. With its colossal treasury, its relentless accumulation, and its all-in commitment, has BitMine truly created the ultimate leveraged bet on the entire future of Ethereum? The framework for that bet is now crystal clear, and only the market is going to give us the final answer. Thanks for watching.